Hello and welcome on the sixth and final video tutorial dedicated to Expense Tracker for WebOS version 1.0.1. This video is dedicated to the settings screen. You actually have seen most of it if you have watched the other videos, but let's complete the cycle. So let's move on to the settings panel now. First, we can see those default settings panels. They are here for you to choose which default category, subcategory and payment method will appear by default when you try to create a record, expense or income. You can notice it is handled independently. So let's try to tap one of those items and see what happens. We can now see the selection screen of the category, and you can notice that the current default one is shown by this checkbox. Let's tap somewhere in the list. It is now showing the subcategories of this category. They are closely linked. Once again, we just choose randomly for the sake of the tutorial, and it automatically comes back to the settings panel, and we can see that the change has been taken into account instantly. And if we try to create an expense now, we can see that indeed our change has been taken into account. For the payment method, it is the same principle and we don't really need to see it now. But let's go back to the selection screen of the category. You can notice the plus icon at the bottom of the screen. It is here because you of course have the possibility of creating your own categories. So currently the category and the other settings are all made of a name and a description. In the next version, though, you will be able to choose your icons for your personal categories. So here I simply type whatever I want and go back. The new category instantly appears and we can select it. We can now see the subcategory list, and it's of course empty because we just created this category. So we are going to create a new one, fill in the information and go back. Done! For the rest of the settings now. You should have seen already the dashboard settings in the first video tutorial. If not, I recommend you to have a look. Anyway, it's quite simple. The reporting values chosen here will be the ones displayed on the dashboard. For the monthly view, you should have seen it also in the fifth video. The settings selected here will be affecting the way the display is presented in the monthly view module. Finally, you can find those two settings. You can try to tap on them, it will not work. Those functions are actually nearly finished, and it is why the settings are already here. But I was not completely happy with it on time for version 1.0, so it's just frozen. But it's coming, don't worry. Well, that's the end of this series of tutorials, so I hope they were somehow useful for you. Thank you for using Expense Tracker, and thank you for watching. That was Remy for RC Software, signing off.